The intro sounds more bassy in my headphones now. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I was jamming for a second. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of, awesome. Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Between the Uprights. We are back Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a brand new episode. Welcome in, everybody. Make sure to go to your YouTube page, which is under construction right now. It'll be launching tomorrow at some point. But in the meantime, go to our Twitter page and Instagram pages as well, as you can see below, because I'm not going to spell those out. It's way too many characters, and I don't want to do that right now. So welcome in, everybody. As usual, joining me as usual each week is Nikki, the Queen of New York, and my homie Raul. What's up, you two? How's it going?
Good, man.
We are 1 week closer to the NFL season. I hope you're all getting ready. We have a fantastic show tonight. Tyler O from FTN Fantasy will be joining us later in to talk all things fantasy football. We'll give him some curveball questions. Hopefully he can answer those. But let's get right into it. We got some NFL news this week. I wouldn't say breaking news that happened a few hours ago during the afternoon. Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice has been given the 6-game suspension. He will not appeal it at all, which sucks for me and my fantasy team because I did drafted him last night thinking he would play a little bit of the season before getting suspended, but he is accepting the punishment overall for 6 games. So I think that's an okay punishment for right now. 6 games in the beginning of the season is good instead of 6 games in the latter half of the season. What do you guys think about the 6-game suspension for Rashee?
We knew it was coming, right? Wasn't it? We thought it was going to be 6, right?
I thought it was going to be 4.
Oh, I thought it was 6. That was risky. You took him last night.
I took him. Well, I took him mid round. I think it took him like 7th or 8th.
No advice. No advice taken. None taken, man. Jeez. Look, and he violated what was the?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was he was speeding. He got like a high speed chase. He got 120 miles an hour or something like that, and he got into a crash. And I think he left the scene of it too. But where I drafted him, for me, 6 games is kind of a deal, to be honest with you.
See Nikki's face. Wait, it just got worse. It drastically got worse as you kept going.
I just what do you do before you get on the show? Because the justifications every week with something are wild. What do you
Did you hear what he said? I think he was speeding, and then he ran out, and then he left.
Yeah, he was going like 120 miles an hour, and then he got into an accident.
Justifies taking him last night. I'm telling you, this is a question for our expert.
Oh, you know what? He's in the room, so let's bring him on right now. Welcome to the show from FTN Fantasy, Tyler O. What's going on, pal?
What's up? Hey, nice to meet y'all. Good to see you, my man. Couldn't help but hear the Rashee Rice in the backstage there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Before we get into it, congrats on the DraftKings partnership, by the way. I just saw that on X.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So let's get into the 6 games with Rashee Rice. And for the both of you that didn't know, Tyler and I are in the same league together. We drafted last night. I did take Rashee Rice. I think it was the 5th or the 6th because he was available. And, I knew he was going to get suspended. I figured, look, if I can get him this late, why not draft him? Because I'll still have him the latter half of the season when the 6 games is over. So, Tyler, back me up. Or was I wrong for doing that?
I was fine with where he took him. I'm being completely honest with you. I got no issue with Rashee Rice. So I think here's the way I was kind of looking at this, because it's been a pretty wild saga with Rashee Rice this whole offseason, right? At first, in the spring, he was not even going to be suspended at all. He was going to be, I believe, they were going to push it to the following season. Yep. He was going at like the 2-3 turn when that was the assumption of where he was going to go. People were treating him like a kind of like a fringe wide receiver 1, right? And then obviously we find out the suspension was happening. I actually thought it was going to be 8 games. So you thought it was going to be 4. I thought it was going to be 8. And then, fast forward to where we are now, I think it's generally not that bad because for a little bit there, I don't know if you saw the other rumor, he was supposed to play the first 4 games of the season and then serve his suspension towards like the middle portion of the season. So when it was just like 6 games right off the rip, I think 7th round's pretty fair for Rashee Rice considering the upside that he probably is going to give us. It does open the window, I think, for Xavier Worthy to really establish himself as like the alpha wide receiver there. But for me, I got no issue in the 7th round. I think it's worth it with the upside pick there. You are going to have to kind of make up that value later. You got to trust yourself as a drafter. It's a bit of a risk to have to then find some guys later that are going to be able to kind of tie you over. But I don't hate the pick in the 7th round at all.
And if it works out for me, I'm a genius. If it works works out.
If it works out. Who else is available?
I'm trying to remember last night who else was available. But like to me, he was the best value available at that time, and I'm gonna scoop him up.
We
I hope
can
it works out,
find,
man.
we can find that out pretty quickly, I think, if we just go to like the
yes,
actual
please
draft.
find that out. Yes, please.
Let's pull it up.
We need to know. Let's pull it up. Let's see.
I just think
Let's
I'm
see
not
what went
saying
on last night. Let's see.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. He's going to produce. I agree, but I just think that's a pretty ballsy move, man. Knowing that he was going to get suspended, you didn't know how long.
You don't win championships unless you're ballsy.
Or you have an inside track. I mean, there's one of the two happens. I don't know. Like maybe you had some info that nobody else knew. I don't know. I probably would have stayed away.
So there was a couple guys that are questionable because here's the wide receivers that went after Rashee Rice. DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Jamison Williams, and Jalen Waddle.
Devontae Smith was still there around 5 and 6.
He was.
He was in my league too. I got him late.
So what's going on with Devontae? Why is everybody scared? You keep the guy that's suspended versus the guy that's going to play?
Yeah, because I value Rashee Rice more than I do Devonta Smith.
Why?
Because, well, can I have my justification for that?
Yes,
I just think we just want to hear the words. We hate the Eagles. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna begin with that because we hate the Eagles. But the looks that Devonta had last year weren't worth it to me enough to be. I mean, he's a fringe to me, and maybe Tyler, you can maybe back me up or disagree with me. I look at him as a fringe wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, just because of how AJ Brown does and the ground and pound that he do with Saquon. So for me, for Devonta to be my wide receiver 2, I was kind of on the fence about it just because I've used him in the past in fantasy football leagues and he didn't really produce for me. And if Rashee Rice is there and I'm only he's going to be suspended 6 games, I see the value of him after those 6 games more valuable than Devonta Smith. So
can we see your team?
Yeah, I'll bring it. I was about to pull it up too.
You can pull it up.
I was about to pull
Let's
it
do
up.
it. Let's see it.
Let's see it. And Tyler's. We got to look at both of those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
All right. Here we go.
We can't wait for this.
Who do you think it took? Wait, before we
let me zoom in on this too.
Oh,
so
I
you guys
can't.
can
I already
see.
have to zoom. I already see I already see old Baker up there.
You guys see that? Or is that too small?
That's
He took Baker.
That's
You have
Baker.
to read it to me. I don't know. It's small for me, but that's okay.
He took Baker. He has his quarterback.
So I've got Baker as my quarterback. My 2 running backs are Saquon and Chase Brown, and then my 3 wide receivers are Cortland Sutton, Roma Dunez. Now it's Juwan Jennings because Rashee Rice is going to be suspended, and then George Kittle's my tight end. Etienne is my flex, and then So my bench is kind of weak. I don't really like it, but my starting roster is pretty good, I think.
Do I see a horseshoe in there?
That was taken by mistake because I had walked away from my computer for like 30 seconds and I didn't know I was on. Yeah, an auto pick for me.
The backup defense, man, that's a rough one. The backup defense is a rough one.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That was kind of my bad because I walked away from my computer. So
How do you?
I don't know.
feel
Your bench is terrible, man.
yeah, my bench
It's pretty bad.
is bad. But like it's the bench. I mean, I'm not gonna rely
But you
on
took
them.
3 questionables and a suspended guy.
It's pretty bad.
I think this draft is questionable.
Hey, I got
Tyler,
a B. I got a
Tyler,
B.
can we show how it's done, please? Can we?
Yeah, pop up my team, man.
Let's pop up
Let's go.
Tyler's for a second.
All right, okay.
We can tell old Bushman took Baker for his heart. He loves
I
the guy
think
so
Tyler,
much.
you got graded an A, so I mean he has a better team than I do. So I got
nothing.
ESPN liked my draft. ESPN liked my draft for sure.
I got graded a B. I'm okay with a B. And plus, it's not how you start; it's how you finish.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, so I was basically I got early pick, so getting Bijan there felt really good because I feel like typically when I play in redraft leagues with say like a work league, you're not usually playing against a ton of people who like are talking about it on podcasts. So I'm like, generally speaking, I think the general public takes running back super early in drafts. So like when I saw Bijan at the 2nd pick, Jamar Chase went 1, Bijan was off the board. For me, I followed that up with McBride because I wanted an elite tight end in this format. It was just PPR, but I really wanted that, and then came back, saw AJ Brown there in the 3rd, which that felt like an absolute steal for me. Got some risk with the youngins. Like I'm cool with Xavier Worthy as my 2. I think, especially if Rashee Rice is going to be out. I like Kyler as my 1, but I'm really counting on some rookies to hit here. Like Emeka Egbuka, a huge fan of his. One of my favorite rookies to be drafted in rookie drafts. So like right after the draft, thought he was a big value this whole offseason, and this team is caught up. So really thrilled to see him there. And then Travis Hunter is not a guy that I usually draft. I will put that out there. I'm definitely like have no idea what he's going to do. Like, I talk about football every day, and I'm still on the fence deciding, like, what is Travis Hunter all about? What are we going to be?
What made you change your theory? What made you change? Is it just the
He
hype, the
fell.
excitement?
I think it's one. I mean, I think there's one side of it where I tend to stand on one side with Travis Hunter, where I know he's a great athlete, and I know he's probably, I don't know if he's generational football talent, but he's a great talent. But to play football both ways in the NFL, I just don't think that's something anybody can do. Like, frankly, I think that's just something that I could not bet that someone's going to have success with. So for me, I've been fading generally because I'm like, if he plays even some corner and he's not getting full wide receiver reps, it's tough. But then on the other side of the coin, I was like, this is the Blitnikoff winner from college, the best wide receiver in all of college football. And I unfortunately think that the Jaguars offense is going to be better this year. Like, I've been betting on the Jaguars offense for a bit and been taking some L's in that regard. But for me, it was more of a value add for me when I saw him where he was and trying to figure out where I picked him at. But it was the 7th round. So I got him in the 7th round. I wouldn't bet that, that pays off. But at the same time, I was kind of willing to take the risk. I want to have some Travis Hunter. I guess if that's the best way I could put it, is like, would I bet Travis Hunter? But in case he does, when he falls to that range, I'm going to take a couple shots, because on other platforms, I've seen him go in like the 5th, sometimes like in the 4th. And I'm not about that life. I'm not taking that risk with him. So for me, when I saw him down there, I was like, you know what? I feel like there's less risk taking him in the 7th, and I just want a little piece just in case things kind of break the right way for Travis Hunter in his first year, with Liam Cohen over there calling the plays. And, obviously you got Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side. He's a serious wide receiver, maybe takes a little bit of heat off. Some of the double coverage goes his way. I'm willing to take a shot here and there. Don't want to miss completely.
I'm not the only one that drafted the suspended player. He's got Jordan Addison.
Yeah, I'm seeing this. Maybe this is a trend. What are we doing here?
That was 9th round. That was 9th round, Addison. I mean, I felt good about it. I mean, Jordan Addison for me has been – so for the last 2 seasons, right, he's going into his 3rd year. He has finished, I believe, wide receiver 21 and wide receiver 20. And he finished wide receiver 20 last year, and I believe he missed either 2 or 3 games. So he's suspended for 3 games this year. So I kind of look at it as – 14 games that Jordan Addison goes at wide receiver, probably 38, wide receiver 40 here. Right. This felt like a pretty good bet for me. So I thought I'd take the risk.
All right. That's why you got an A. I got a B. So whatever.
Tyler, where are you from?
I'm from Michigan originally.
Where do you live?
I live in Philadelphia. So we can continue the Eagles hate and the Philadelphia hate if you want to.
Who's your team? Who's your team?
The Lions. I'm Detroit everything across the board. I'd say Lions are my number 1 team, always have been. It usually comes along with me saying how much it sucks, but the last couple of years is good. I went 30 years of my life without seeing a playoff win. Not a Super Bowl, a playoff win from my favorite team, but the Lions are so back, so it's been good the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Tyler, I want to get into some value of some players. Who are some players that are getting kind of overvalued and I would say overhyped going into fantasy football drafts?
Yeah, so one of the players I think is extremely polarizing is going to be the rookie out of Washington Commanders, the Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Bill, as I think he prefers to go by.
Yeah.
We'll call him Bill. I was never in on him. I'll be honest. I do a lot of college prospecting. I do a lot of prospect work, dynasty, rookie work, play campus to Canton leagues. So I do college fantasy, and then that college fantasy team, when they get drafted in the NFL, they go to your actual NFL dynasty team. So
nice.
He was never on my radar. I'm not even gonna lie. When I was doing my stuff, I had him outside of my top 20. I didn't even rank him. Frankly, I wasn't a guy that I thought about at all. But the steam has been undeniable. Where he's so good, they trade away Brian Robinson. Everyone else on the roster, Eckler's aging, probably still have a role, but aging. And then we know that Chris Rodriguez has been on the team for a couple of years, hasn't been able to really do much. So there's a lot of opportunity there, and I love to see it. I think it's getting to a point, though, where it's a little ridiculous. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt went in the 7th of this draft we went in, which is a little early for me, but I don't necessarily hate it. But I think for me, it comes down to the fact that he was, a 7th rounder. So not that you can't succeed as a 7th rounder. We've seen it Isaiah Pacheco as a 7th rounder. He's had a decent career. But what really comes down to me is when you look at his college profile, I think the dude caught 7 footballs, as a pass catcher, in either his final season. What I'm basically getting at is he's not a pass catcher running back. You all know you generally want running backs who are pass catcher running backs. That's how you're going to succeed unless you're essentially Derrick Henry. So for me, it really just came down to the fact that people are really taking this guy thinking he's going to be a bell cow, but being a pass catcher doesn't necessarily fit into his profile. So for me, I've been very much fading him when I see him go up this high. I liked him when you could get him in the 10th, 11th, 12th. but seeing him into the single-digit rounds, that's really just not the bet that I'm going to make. So a little bit too much steam on Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, a guy that I think's been kind of, at least in the fantasy space, in my opinion, been really at the top of headlines here for a couple weeks.
I've seen Malik Neighbors go pretty high. He actually went pretty high in our draft last night. He went in the first round, which was super surprising.
Why?
Yeah, why?
I got him in the first round.
I'm
why?
with Nikki.
Tell me why. I'm still fired up.
I got to hear this, Evan. Evan, I got to hear this.
Where do you think he should go? What?
I would say at least third or fourth round.
I honestly think like 20 minutes before you get on the show, it's just what can I say to Nikki to drive her up a wall? Why would you? Why?
I just don't
Give me justification.
trust. I just don't have faith in Russell Wilson anymore.
I can't with you.
I just don't have it anymore.
Okay, like you are kid. Who are you taking above Malik Neighbors?
I don't like the Giants either, but he's their number one. He's their number one.
I can't. My head's gonna explode.
He's gonna get like what, 5,
pop
8
right
targets a game, easy.
We'll see.
Oh man, I want to interject. I want to interject here because I feel strongly about this one. Malik Neighbors is my wide receiver 4. He's a smash in the first round. I'm taking a mid first round every time. So I got obviously Chase, J. Jeff, and I got CD, but I'm taking Neighbors over Nico Collins, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., Puka Nacua, Drake London, and I'll spell it out for you where I'm at. I think Neighbors is an elite talent. I think he belongs in that kind of conversation.
I agree. I think he's elite talent, but he needs a better quarterback to think.
All right, sorry. This is where I love this. I love this argument because I think you're right. But let's break it down. Last year, he was wide receiver 7 last year as a rookie. Wide receiver 7 as a rookie, and he was catching the ball from Tommy Cutlets, who isn't even
Tommy Cutlets, who got cut.
We do this every week. I do this every week.
Yeah, he wasn't on the team.
Every week thing.
He's not on the team anymore. Daniel Jones and then Drew Lock, right? And he finished wide receiver 7 with that carousel. So now the way I look at it is like, all right, he finished wide receiver 7, worst case scenario at quarterback. Fast forward to this year, it's not great. I don't necessarily trust Russ, but the thing about Russ is last year, there's a pocket of time where Russell Wilson and Pickens were on the same field. It was an 8-week span in the middle of the season where Russ was starting, Fields wasn't starting, and Pickens was healthy. During that time, Pickens was a top 10 wide receiver. So Russ, we saw him just last year support a top 10 wide receiver, and Neighbors is way better than Pickens. And the last thing I'm going to get at is Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in this draft class. Jackson Dart is my man. Jackson Dart is going to be really good for this team. He's going to make the Giants offense, I would say, in my opinion, competitive.
That is where I say you need to have Jackson Dart be the quarterback.
I'm with you. I think you should start right away.
Because then I would take Malik Neighbors in the first round all day.
My God,
I'm okay with
the same argument last night. You guys know that's not the plan in New York, right?
I know that's not the plan. I
just want to let you guys know this.
Jameis Winston will take over eventually and be the quarterback one of the Giants.
We're not okay. Jackson Dart said to Brian Dable, "What do you do at the coin toss?" Okay, let the kid learn. That's all I'm saying, right?
Let him learn.
Let him learn
Tyler,
a little bit.
Tyler, any fantasy studs from last year that you see could maybe fall off as a fantasy dud?
So like studs, like guys that are kind of like being drafted high right now because they did last year that might not this year.
Correct. Yeah.
Let me take a look here.
We gotta get Raul's list from last week.
Don't worry. I'm bringing that up right now.
Bring it up because I'm technically listen to Tyler. I'm technically right on some of those picks. So go ahead.
So some guy, I guess I'll just start at the top with like guys I haven't been making that many selections of. I'd say Nico Collins. Well, I like him, and I have him ranked as a top 10 wide receiver. I think last year was just one of those situations where he was kind of the only game in town, and I think they've added a lot of weapons to that team in terms of pass catchers. I think Christian Kirk's solid. They drafted those 2 rookies out of Iowa State. I think Jaden Higgins is actually a pretty damn good wide receiver. I do think they have to pass more, but again, the offensive line suspect. I think they shipped out their best lineman, before the start of the year. So I just think that while I do think the Texans will throw the ball a lot, I don't necessarily think Nico Collins is going to see that type of volume to make him, some people draft him, I'd say after that kind of Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson range, some people will take Nico Collins right after those guys. I have him a bit later. I have the Amon-Ra, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr.'s, Puka Nacua's, even Drake London's him. Those are wide receivers ahead of Nico. So I like Nico. I'll take him. I think he's probably a top 10 wide receiver. I just think he's towards that bottom range, and people are drafting him like he's like a mid-range. And I wouldn't say he was like an absolute stud because he missed time last year, but when he played, he was a stud. So he's a guy that I've found myself at least fading a little bit. Not necessarily because I dislike him, but just there's a lot more people out there that seem to like Nico Collins more than me.
Okay. Well, we had a list. Raul did a list last week of fantasy guys. He did one last week of fantasy players.
He has to put the disclaimer every time. I didn't have shit to do with this.
I got enough heat for the last 24 hours.
I want to hear it.
This was his list of players not to draft.
All right. Okay. Oh, this is not a bad list, my guy.
Oh shit! Say it with the chest.
So Jahmyr Gibbs, I disagree entirely.
I was going to say that. I was going to also say the last player on the list is Baker Mayfield at number 10.
So this is not a bad fade list. So Saquon, like I still draft Saquon, I still draft Derrick Henry, but like you can't deny the fact how much wear and tear they've gotten and how old they're getting. And like the thing is, like I'll draft Saquon, I'll draft Derrick Henry, I'll draft CMC, but man, dude, like what you got to be fading running back if you don't get a top like 3 or 4 pick. If you're fading like this, these are.
I didn't like. So the only thing I put Saquon up there, and maybe I should have put him at 1, but Saquon I didn't put up there because of that freaking and I like the tush push. Don't get me wrong, but anytime they're within that 3-4 yard line, they don't pound the football in with him, and I always feel like they're taking his touchdowns away. You know what I mean? And thank God he's a team player, so it's like okay, but I don't know how many, like, what really blew my mind was the Super Bowl. They didn't even try to get this guy in the end zone to make it memorable for this guy anyway, but that's fine. So, but I see that all season long that they don't really push for Saquon to get in there. So you're not going to get those points. Derrick Henry has the wear and tear. Derrick Henry does have the wear and tear. So I was like, okay, McCaffrey, you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get 3 weeks out of him. You're going to get 5 weeks out of him, and then he's done. Like, you have no idea what you're going to do. Jamar Gibbs, going down to 6, Jamar Gibbs real quick. All I was saying was that split carry stuff in Detroit.
It's fair.
Well, you're gonna split carries, and later in the season I saw more Montgomery than Gibbs a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what I saw, and then the rest speaks for itself.
It's a good list. I'll be honest with you. There's no one.
Thanks, Tyler, man.
There's no one on.
Did we just become best friends? You and karate in the garage.
I also appreciate the fact that it's bold too. You're naming like these are some elite players that people.
I know, man. I took I had to step up.
So I don't have like Jahmyr Gibbs is the only one on this list that I would make a serious argument for, considering where these players go. Because like I get the risk with Saquon, I get the risk with Henry, I get the risk with CMC, but like the rest of these, like Tyreek not been drafted, Marvin Harrison. I mean, we'll see. Puka Nacua is tough, but like the Stafford back stuff really scares you, right? If Stafford doesn't miss time, then he's out. Brees is looking like he's in a split, even though I love him. Cooper's dust. Mayfield's due for regression, man. I feel like this is pretty good list, my guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say Baker Mayfield's due for regression?
Yeah, I think he's not going to be as good. I don't think he's going to be as good. Yeah, I think so. I'll lay it out. I guess I think.
I did say that 2 weeks ago.
You did.
I said it last week where he's like, look, he's not going to put up 40-something touchdowns, but he'll be in the 30 range.
Why did you take him? Why did you take him?
It's a homer pick. I mean, come on.
Come on.
Love of the game.
You victory lapped Baker Mayfield last year pretty hard, I got a feeling, man. That probably felt super good for you.
Hey, listen, man. Whatever we can take from Cleveland and just say, hey, we can make it better. I mean, I'm all for it. I thought Baker was going to take over before they got Tom Brady into town. I thought Baker was going to come to Tampa, but they got Tom Brady instead. So works out.
He's good, man. He's good. I mean, I think when you look at Baker Mayfield, I think his touchdown rate was like 7.2%, which is extremely high. I mean, usually it's like 4%. And then you just kind of add in the Godwin injuries, even Jalen McMillan. Wirfs actually looks like he's not going to miss as much time, right?
He's only going to miss a couple of games, and then he should be back. I think week 4, I believe.
Yeah. So, I think Baker could be like a top 10 quarterback, top 12 quarterback, but I think like last year was QB6, like QB5 or something like that, depending on the scoring. That's not going to happen again, but I got no problem taking him as like a back end QB1 in drafts, but people always draft him early. Must have a lot of Buccaneers fans in the drafts because I never draft them.
It's my quarterback. Tyler, before we get you out of here, sleepers. Everybody likes those sleepers that just come out of nowhere. Bucky Irving was one of those last year. Yes, another Bucs player. Yep. So give me some sleepers this year in fantasy drafts that you might think will just come out of nowhere and people will just be like, dude, I should have got him in that round.
I mean, like real sleepers. So, I mean, all right. So I'll go deep. I'll start deep. And if I'm too deep, you let me know. And then we'll go from there.
Let's go down the rabbit hole. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go super down the rabbit hole with the guys that I saw. Alec Aomanor from Tennessee is a guy that I think is a good last round click. Stanford, wide receiver. He didn't really light up the production because the Stanford pass game was absolutely garbage. But if you watch the guy play, super smooth. I absolutely loved watching him play, like a natural wide receiver out there. He was my wide receiver 6 going into the draft. I dropped him because he didn't end up going into the second round. He fell to day 3. But he was just a guy I've been super high on. And I don't necessarily love that he landed with the Titans, but I can't deny that there's like serious opportunity there because the pass catchers for the Titans, like I don't believe, like I just said it, Jackson Ward's my number 1 quarterback in the class. For me to make that statement, not only to believe in Jackson Ward, but I also like can't necessarily really believe in Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward's fine. I was not really that high on him as a prospect. And if he is good, like it's really like Ridley is like the main pass catcher there. And I don't think he's a true X anymore. The only true X wide receiver on the team is Alec Ayumanor. So if this team is actually playing some pretty good football, I think there's a world where people who don't know Alec Ayumanor are going to learn his name really quick. He's had a couple big flashes here in the preseason for those sickos that are watching Tennessee Titans preseason football. So like he's the guy that I've definitely been targeting kind of late. I can keep going. A couple more.
I got one for you. What about Isaac Tesla, who's been getting a lot of attention in Detroit? He's been a name that's been brought up a few times in the past media. Fantasy footballers love him on their show. So what about Isaac Tesla? Great name, by the way, too.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, as a Lions fan, I was pretty surprised to see him go. It's another player that, just like the Corey, where I just wasn't even on my radar. So for me, I mean, generally speaking, I don't really think he should be on anybody who's just like, I think Dynasty's fine, obviously, but like, regular size redraft league, no. Because the way I look at it is right. The Lions have been one of the most run-heavy teams in football, right? Why wouldn't you be? You're winning, and you have Gibbs and you have Montgomery. So your identity is pounding the rock. I don't care what you say about, the OC or, the defense coordinator leaving. That pounding the rock mentality, that's all Campbell, right? That's how Campbell wants to play football. So I think they're still going to be one of the most run-heavy teams in the NFL. And then you add in the fact that they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's going to command a large target share. Jamison Williams, who really stepped out last season, who could still continue to do that. And then Laporta. I mean, he's still a great tight end. I just don't think there's enough meat on the bone for Tesla to do anything meaningful. I think he's going to be a classic, like probably better real-life football player, where he has some really big plays or splash plays when it counts, or has some long touchdowns here and there. But like for fantasy football, he's not going to be a consistent player week to week. Probably left, honestly, to waivers in any kind of typical league. But I do respect it. People are calling his name out, but I don't think he's the guy that should be on your radar. Like, I think people are going to, I think Alec Ayumanor can make that same argument, but I would rather in your regular sized redraft leagues take Alec Ayumanor over Tesla.
Okay. You can find him at FF Tyler O and FTN Fantasy. Tyler, thanks for coming on the show, bro. Good luck this year.
My pleasure. Nice to meet you.
All right, Tyler.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. I know you hated on my draft, but I'm going to win that goddamn league.
When did you pick? What pick did you have?
I was 5th.
Okay.
I was 5th. I didn't really like it that much, but was like, you know what? Probably Saquon's going to fall to me. So it is what it is. All right, let's get back into news. I think the biggest news in football happened, was it yesterday or was it today, that TNT, yes, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. Congrats to them. The nightmare is almost over, that we can all suspect that they are not doing this for attention and for the NFL's thing. But yeah, there it is. Look at that. Happy couple. Look at that rock, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is that from her money or his money? What do you think?
She paid for that.
She paid for that? Okay.
Oh, she picked it out on. Yeah. Of course. But I mean, what? I don't want to piss nobody off, man.
No, please do. It's okay.
Oh, please, come
I'm
on.
a Kelce fan. I love the guy. I'm gonna piss off some Swifties here. Okay. What is the big deal? First of all, I'm gonna really piss some people off. I never thought, ooh, look at Taylor Swift. Like, you ever had that thought? I've never had that thought, like, damn, Taylor. I've never had a thought in my head like, that's a bad chick. That's number one. And I know they're like, oh, don't be so outside. It's not all about the outside, it's the inside. Yeah, I get you. But still, like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't see it.
Look, when you find your perfect somebody, everything just aligns, and they've found each other. I think it's perfect timing for him too, because he's got maybe 1 year left in his career, and then he's going to be off doing his podcast with his brother and doing all kinds of stuff. So he's probably like, look, get engaged. I'll retire next year, and then boom, I'm married. I don't have to worry about, the groupies and stuff anymore.
Yeah, I just think it's too, like, they don't ever, nobody celebrity wise ever thinks this backfires. Like,
Oh, I give it
She
5
look-
years. I give it 5 years and one kid.
5 years down the drain, then we're looking
Yeah.
at this picture like, what an
Yeah.
idiot. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, why
Well,
would you
he'll
do
he'll
that?
be out of the league anyways, and we'll be just like, well, you know,
Oh,
he
that
retired.
divorce album is gonna hit so good though.
see?
Am I wrong? Am I wrong if to advocate for Travis to please go get a prenup? I know she's worth more.
Dude, she's got that prenup.
Yeah,
is
but I
gonna
still
be
want my. This is my little bit of change.
She
here.
won't need his money. She's worth billions of dollars. Man.
Billion.
A woman scorned will take it all, my boy.
She'll write an album being scorned if they get
whole
divorced.
album. She'll
Yeah.
do anthology. Like it'll be the next 10
Jesus.
years will be.
I guess that got way too much attention, man.
What? She's a global superstar. Are you serious? Like
Come on, shake it off, Raul. Jeez.
you've never seen her in concert?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm asking.
No, ma'am.
Oh,
Never.
I don't know. I don't know if you have kids or you have a daughter.
I do. I do have kids. I have a daughter, and she's never been like, Dad, I want to see Taylor Swift. Nope.
Okay. Well, I've seen Taylor Swift. She's amazing.
Have you? Was it an amazing show?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was.
Was it as equal to Cash Money in 97, 98? Because that was
Was
a
it
great
equal
show.
to Eminem in 2002 or Metallica in 2005?
Listen,
I
I've
went to
also
those
seen Britney
concerts.
like 7 times. Okay, and
I went to
nobody-
see Lil Wayne. Let me tell you something. Wow. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, let's get back to
that is one
let's
of the
get,
prop bets when we get to the. Well, it's not on my list, but one of them is what's first: he retires or she gets pregnant. Like which announcement?
retires.
Pregnant.
Retires.
This is
And then
now
she'll write
really
she'll write an
pregnancy.
album about the baby when she has the baby.
You have to give her this though. Like, think about all of the casual fans she just converted to long term. Like now everyone's going to spend money, right? Like you think about it from the business side. This is the best marketing that the NFL could ever ask for.
Oh yeah, the
Sure,
NFL
but
thanks for a ton because
Like
of all the
when you
new
sit down
viewers
about
that they've
marriage,
got.
you don't go, God, you know how great this is going to be for the business side of this. Like,
Oh,
you know, it's supposed to be about, you know,
Yeah.
I guess. What do I know? Yeah, what do I know?
All right, let's get back to actual football. We got some preseason transaction. Kenny Pickett was
Sure.
traded to the Raiders for a draft pick. Good for the Raiders. They have a backup quarterback because Aiden O'Connell is injured. So Geno Smith has a guy there behind him. Good for the Browns because now they don't have 4 quarterbacks. They're going with Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shador Sanders. So
Yeah.
I think it's an even trade for both of them. The Saints have settled with Spencer Rattler starting quarterback. And I wanted to play a clip for you for Drew Brees. He was a guest on Up and Adams with Kay Adams, I think today. He had his thoughts about the Saints and what they're going to do this year. Let's check out what Drew had to say.
Divisions, then look, who scares you in the NFC South right now? I mean, there's Tampa may have the edge just because they've won the division a couple times. Baker Mayfield is now an experienced veteran quarterback, but look, Atlanta's trying to establish themselves with a new quarterback, Michael Penix. Carolina Panthers kind of made a jump last year. Bryce Young, the adversity that he faced, I love the way he responded and the way he played. I'm a big fan of his. But really, who scares you? I think the division's wide open, and I think
He's delusional and he's old. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What? Why do you say that?
The division's wide open?
You don't think it is?
I think in his mind that if it's wide open, then the Saints have a chance.
Okay, but like Atlanta has a chance too. Like you're just gonna say like the Bucks are gonna run away with it.
He's saying the entire division is wide open, so the Panthers have a chance, the Saints have a chance.
It's a
and the
new
Falcons
year,
have a
my
chance.
friend. It is a
Panthers. Okay, Panthers might not have a chance, but Michael Penix in Atlanta scares me.
Yeah.
So
I agree with
then
Atlanta.
it's not wide open. Then the only team that really has a chance in the NFC South is the Atlanta Falcons. It is not wide open. Drew Brees needs to stop going on these shows and saying everything's wide open and the Saints have a chance with Spencer Rattler as quarterback. There's
But this
no
is the
way.
same thing as when Boomer Esiason was on Inside the NFL advocating when they first got Joe Burrow, how Cincinnati's back and the whole division's open and we're doing this. Same thing when Dan Marino was Inside the NFL. He's like, the Dolphins are going to be fun. Like, it's a common
I feel like
fan
they
base.
all say that it's like wide open. They
Yeah,
just
it's
say
a calm fan base.
it. They
Nobody
just say
jump
it
ship.
to say it. This is turning into a Tampa Bay Homer show.
No, it's not. It's realistic. It's realistic. All right, we'll pivot from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Have you guys watched the Cowboys documentary on
No,
Netflix?
fuck no. I'm not watching this shit.
Okay.
No, especially after yesterday.
I saw it, man. You know, I don't know how you felt about it, Ev, man, but God, unless he just did really good acting, I really think Jerry was hurt about what happened between him and Jimmy.
Yeah,
It looked really fucking sincere for a second. Like he really looked like hey man, I really thought it was us. Like he sold it pretty good to me for on the
Even
documentary.
Jimmy acted like it. He
Yeah.
was also heard about the whole divorce thing too. And there's a lot of things I didn't know, like that was going on with that Cowboys team that era. Like I didn't know like a reporter came out and tried to call Troy Aikman racist through that period of time. That was crazy. I was like, what? That was like
that was wild to listen to.
Wild.
Yeah.
But I think the main really kind of episodes they really focused on was the relationship between him and Jimmy Johnson and the turmoil or the headbutting they did, through that back-to-back championship season was they were at each other's throats. And, after it was finally, they had to part ways amicably, but in quotations. Yeah. I think they were both hurt by that. I think they were trying to make it, it's like a marriage. You try to make it work, but ultimately they had to say, look, it's not going to work for this team, for me and for you, if I still continue to be the head coach and you as my owner, because we're just butting heads too much. So yeah, I think Jerry was sincere.
I think so too, for whatever reason. And the Ring of Honor stuff was nice to see. I mean, it was that's the only part. To be honest, when the whole documentary, that's all I wanted to know. Like that's all, because I was too young at the time. Like, what was that? 95 is when 94 is when he left.
So 94 was when he left, and then
right?
they got Barry Switzer in, and then the year after that, they won the Super Bowl with Barry Switzer.
Yeah, I was like 14 years old, so I remember seeing this happen as a kid, but I didn't pay attention to it like now that I am an adult. It's like watching them do the interview together to reassure everybody we're okay. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. But that's the only thing that really I took from it that was like, okay. And the other thing I took was, these guys do have a case for the concussion thing. That man took a lot of we're talking Tua level concussions, man. Troy Aikman took.
Yeah.
I forgot he took 9 concussions. 9.
Like if he was doing that in this stage of the league, they wouldn't allow him to be on the field because 9 back then was like, hey, it's okay, he'll get back on the field.
Yeah, everybody gets
like 9 now is you need to retire. You need to stop playing football.
Right. And it says something, I forget the stat. It was like 4 concussions within what? 5 months, 7 months, 8 months.
Yeah, they were like pretty close to each other, which is wild.
Yeah.
How many concussions does Tua have?
Tua has right now 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's up there too. Yeah,
he's up there. Yeah,
he's up there. So it's like, geez, but they don't have the protocol like they. I mean, back then especially. No. This is wild, man. So that documentary I thought it was a pretty good documentary. I heard
it was good. I just
it kind of really catered toward Jerry Jones. Obviously, Jerry Jones kind of had his fingers in what's going to be said and what's going to be put out there. But it was decent. It was a pretty good documentary. And I wanted to go to you, Nikki, for the other documentary we've kind of been watching is Hard Knocks with the Buffalo Bills, which is in your eyes a snoozer, correct?
Yes, it's a snooze fest. It's just not doing it for me.
It's not exciting at all.
Why? It's not exciting at all.
What kind of Hard Knocks?
It's very vanilla. It's very
like Detroit was good, and the Giants one was good just because they were a wreck, right? I even liked watching Chicago because I thought that was pretty good. That was last season, right? But just I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. I don't know why I lose interest. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I can't get into it.
I'm the same way. I fell asleep during the first episode. I was like, whoa, this never happened to me. So I'm like, if I'm falling asleep halfway through the first episode, I'm like, I'm not watching the rest of it because it's so boring and vanilla.
What is it? And you would think the Bills, it would be. So I don't know what it is. It's like something's missing. I don't know.
There's no drama surrounding the Bills.
There's no nothing. It's maybe a little too buttoned up. Maybe there's no good for TV personality, I think is what it is.
There's no drama so last year was the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, and that was drama. So this year, it wasn't there's nothing really surrounding the Bills except for the fact that they can't get to the Super Bowl. So that's the only
circling the wagon.
Circling the wagon, everybody.
We talked about I think that's what it is. It's almost too PR, too media. It's just they're too good in a way. And you're like, oh, you're not a train wreck enough to want to watch.
Right.
So they need Stephon Diggs to come back and
you need you need a diva wide receiver.
Antonio Brown type of player.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited for in-season. I'm not excited it's NFC East, but I think it's going to be entertaining.
Who is the in-season team? Do we know?
It's NFC East. It's the whole division.
One of those, the whole division.
Yeah.
Like they did last. Okay. Yeah.
Like they did last year. Yeah.
All right, before we end the show, Nikki, we got any prop bets going into this week?
We do. We have wedding of the century prop bets.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Oh wow.
All right, let's
Listen,
go.
someone's gotta.
Yeah, no, I know it. I know
No,
it.
these are
Go ahead.
actually true because somebody
bet,
posted up
yeah.
the other day that I think either it's DraftKings or FanDuel has posted up Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift prop bets.
I will tell you,
Legit.
I picked like 4 or 5 here, like that pertain to football, but there is like a million that you could pick from. Maybe I'll filter them in one fun one per week. But so we already did the retirement one. Okay, when will the wedding take place? So on or before July 4th, 2026, or after July 4th, 2026?
I'm gonna say May.
It has to be before OTAs.
Yeah, because then they'll want to take
Well,
a honeymoon.
shit, you don't know if he retires after this year. That's a
Oh
damn.
yeah,
That's a good one.
I think
So
he
I-
retires.
Yeah, if he retires, then yeah, I would say July, sure. But if he has to play another year, he has to be there before. It would have to be before July, right? Because preseason's going on.
He'll have to do it during the off season, so like probably March or April.
Oh shit, yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be one of those weddings. That's
I
why
think
they
it's
announced it so
before.
early.
Plus, like 4th of July is her thing, you know?
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
true.
before.
I think they had a prop bet of who would be the maid of honor. That's one.
Yeah,
of the prop
there's
bets.
like a long list. I
Yeah,
have
that's
I
great.
have all the percentage conversions. Will Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce sing a duet at the wedding? Yes or no?
No, but Jason will.
Yes.
They're definitely dancing.
Speaking of Jason, how long will he do a keg stand for? The over under is 30.5 seconds.
Over.
He's doing a cake stand at the party.
Oh, definitely
I
do.
guess that was one of the
It'll be
prop
with
bets.
their garage beer, which is fantastic, by the way. It's very refreshing. I would
Over?
say over.
You're gonna take the over?
Hell yeah, with that
Take it.
dude. Oh yeah.
Like under.
Over
He's aged a little bit. I don't know if he can still do it.
No.
Okay, so you have so you have the under. How many slices of wedding cake will Andy Reid eat? Over unders 4.5.
I would.
I'm gonna go
Under.
under. That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's very
Like
heavy.
a lot of diabetes
I'm
going
going
on.
under, and then he'll request a cheeseburger too.
Yeah, for sure.
All
For
right,
sure.
last
Good
one
call.
because we already did retirement and pregnancy. How many current or former NFL players will be in Travis's wedding party? Over unders 1.5. I don't know how you get 1.5 people. But
Over.
Way over. Yeah,
Over.
Over.
Sure, for sure.
I mean, you name
Yeah.
two. You could Patrick Mahomes and Jason Kelce. That's two.
in the wedding party, though, how
Yeah.
big do you think the wedding parties are going to be?
Big.
His brother's the
The best
the
man.
group. Yeah, the
Yeah.
best
Gotta
man
be.
for sure.
There's
They're
a
gonna-
prop bet for that. It's like, why would that be? Like, why
I
would
would be- I would be shocked if they had a big wedding, but they could also do the old switcheroo and have something super like private and small.
They could.
It's gonna be no. They announced it. They had the picture.
Yeah, but they could be- they could
There's gonna be an album party around it. It's just
Right.
like,
There's gonna be
all-
signings and stuff.
Yeah, but they could also go private and be like, you know what? Maybe we don't want a lot of people knowing about this and seeing this. Maybe we should just go private and like have a small little ceremony.
They could do a small one. Oh, that's not a prop bet because a lot of celebrities do that. You're right. They'll do a
See?
small one, then they'll do a big party for
Do a
like
big party.
People Magazine to come and do all the pictures and do the PR and all that stuff. But this is just a tiny little sample of. I couldn't believe how many prop bets for this wedding are already out.
Dude, everybody
there-
in America, we're all degenerate gamblers. And remember, bet responsibly. Bet
There
responsibly.
you go.
Yeah,
That's
Is there one on there for location?
There is, yes. There's
Yeah.
location. There's like, where's the bachelor party going to be? The bachelorette party. I mean, there's like everything you could think of. What designer's going to make her dress? What's their first dance? Like, I mean, I was like, so I do have it. I had it like ChatGPT convert everything to the odds to percentages. It's this long Excel sheet. So maybe I'll work it in every week.
They'll have a joint bachelor and bachelorette party.
See, I think
No
so too.
way.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
She
so
wants to
too.
keep an eye on him during his
Yeah.
bachelor.
Oh yeah.
No, he can't.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his brother and them are too wild. There's more. Kelce's
Yeah, but also
supposed to.
Jason's wife is also kind of like the strict wife too. So like Kylie will probably want to keep an eye on both of those.
Yeah, so
folks.
this guy was doing freaking beer shots with Buffalo Bill fans and jumping off of tables.
and she
shit.
was like
Did you-
right there behind him though.
Did you
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that I guess they met on a dating app, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not Taylor and Travis. He tried to
Jason.
They met on an app and then
yeah,
they met at a
Jason and
bar
Kyle.
and he was like
So she-
hammered drunk and stuff.
Yeah, and like what a
That's
turn
awesome.
of events. Now Taylor Swift's about to be your sister-in-law. Like what?
Yeah.
See, folks, that's how much we miss the NFL. We have nothing really to talk about but Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. That's
This
why
is a
we
big
need football back.
story,
Can't
okay?
wait till the
And
first
someone's
game.
got to bring the Swiftie audience in, and then I've elected myself to do it because I do like her. I think marketing wise, she's like a genius. But I think this is gonna create a lot of buzz for the NFL all season, and so it's gonna bring in a lot of new fans. And I think the cool thing is, and I said it last year, there's a lot of like little girls who are watching the game with their dads now because Taylor Swift is in this, and so like I think that's cool.
Yeah. My daughter did with me last year because Taylor Swift was featured a lot.
See, okay, and now you're gonna. She's a Bucks fan for life.
No,
right?
she is a Dolphins fan for some reason.
Hey,
She likes the Dolphins.
Why?
I have
How?
no idea.
How did you let this happen?
I asked her, I was like, why are you a Dolphins fan? She's like, Dad, I just like the colors. I'm like,
I
why
like
don't
the
you like the
colors.
Bucks? The Bucks have good colors. She's like, well,
Oh
I like
my
them too,
God.
but I like the Dolphins. I'm like, oh. So.
Yep.
So one more week, everybody. Are we excited?
I have a question for you, Ev, before I know you're going to get us out of here, but I have a question for you. Desmond Watson from the Bucks waived.
Yeah.
Let me give you my 2 cents here because I'm gonna give you a 10-second rant.
I'll give you the solo layout.
I think it's complete bullshit what the Bucks did. I think it's complete bullshit. So you knew this guy was what he was. He was 6'5". He's a massive guy, right? 6'5",
450 pounds, right?
450 pounds. You want to get him down to, I don't know what they wanted to get him down to, right? But if you saw it wasn't working out and you knew there was a possibility you're going to waive this guy, why don't you get him any film? Why not let him play for a quarter or at least practice and show that he can go somewhere else? You know what I mean? And maybe a team will be interested in him. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody wants to work with him a little bit longer. I think it's bullshit that you brought the guy that you gave him money to come over to the Bucks. You embarrassed this young man by making him walk the goddamn practice field, all right, with bare feet around the goddamn lot and let everybody videotape this young man. You at least could have did was give him, I don't know, maybe a 2 series in a preseason game, the last one, so he can get some kind of film down so he can go to another team if possible. Maybe nobody picks him up. Maybe nobody wants him. Great. But at least he has that in under his belt to take care of it. Okay, that's my rant to you guys. Like that, I think that's total bullshit.
I will agree with you on most of that. I think also too that he does have a chance to come back on the practice squad if they offer it to him. But I think with the Bucks, they had to be careful because of the weight. And yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you knew how big he was. I mean, you kind of have to get him in conditioning to play. So I think he comes back as practice squad. Well, but
but he was bigger when you drafted him.
I know.
So what was it that you wanted from him? We've never seen a big guy like that move. First of all, as good as he moves for someone of his size, right? Not to shame or anything. Like he's got agility. He's really good. Okay.
For a big guy like that, he can move. He can move his feet. Yeah.
Right. And I know more people were saying, well, because he's so, I hate to say it like this, man.
Just say big. Just say big.
I hate that. No, I hate how they say like when you're a big guy, it should just fall off. The weight should just fall off. And it's not going to be like that, right? But in order for the weight to fall off, he should have took some of those practice reps in Tampa, especially how hot it is here. Walking the goddamn field ain't going to do it. So I don't know whose idea that was. I don't know whose game plan that was. But if you're going to have this kid walk, you could have walked him inside the damn facility and did that instead of embarrass him. And then get him in sweat with the pads on, a sweatsuit.
I think maybe that was their concern was, hey, if we have him out here in full pads with the heat that it is, especially here in Florida, which the heat index gets over 100 degrees. And it feels like it's 200 degrees. That's
he played for the University of Florida.
I know.
For 4 years.
But that's in Gainesville. This is Tampa.
This is
Gainesville gets cooler up there. Gainesville gets cooler up there.
It's hot up there, man. It's no way. He's been there for 4 years, and he was bigger when he was first got there. Even his freshman year, he was bigger. So he's been there 4 years. He understands. Not to mention, he's a Tampa local who played here for 4 years in high school.
That's why I think
high school where he played at.
That's why I think practice squad. I think he'll be on the practice squad.
I hope the Bucks do him right.
I think they will too.
I didn't like that, man. I thought that was shitty. I didn't think that was he. At least get him some kind of film, 1 series, at least 2 series, so we can say, hey, he's good to go. You know what I mean?
Have trust in Jason Lang. It's all good, man.
I'm gonna trust him. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna criticize the shit out of him.
Is it still hot down there?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
I don't know. It feels like fucking fall up here.
Nah, it doesn't cool off here till like February.
Yeah, it's like 85, 87 degrees at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'll be down there for like a month.
Yeah, you don't want to be down here for
next year.
What month you coming?
Well, like 3 weeks. The end of March into April. So
that's when it gets like super nice.
That's when it's like really nice. Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. There is football this weekend. College football is in full effect this weekend. We got great matchups this week in college football. Make sure you watch those. But then next week it is all NFL, and we can't
go Canes. Go Canes. We got to beat the Catholics, the Notre Dame.
Have you guys watched Any Given Saturday on Netflix? The SEC?
I have. SEC? Absolutely.
I have not.
Oh,
Not.
it's
Okay,
good.
maybe
It's good.
we won't have time to talk about it. Maybe we can work it in next week. It's just so interesting because college football is not like a religion up here, you know?
Oh, it's
And to
down
see
here.
What it is down in the South is wild.
Yeah,
You know, like
down
we
here.
have Rutgers. It's like, okay, cool.
All right, everybody. For myself, Nikki, and Rob, we'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, 8:30
On my
p.m.
birthday. Next
On your
Wednesday is
wall,
my
we'll have
birthday.
to celebrate birthday with birthday
I'm
shots.
gonna
Make
do
sure.
like a birthday thing here. I'm gonna dress up the
I'm
house.
gonna put like a little birthday tiara on.
Make sure to go to our X page and also Instagram too as well. We will see you guys next week on Between the Uprights. Peace.